And we're back on the Mana Symbol channel playing a little bit of Boggles, Bogle Boys, Bogle Gals, and a little bit of Sythis Harvest's Hand. So I have not particularly vetted this deck list, and it's playing main deck Sythis, it's playing main deck Path to Exile. Not things that you usually think of as being part of Boggles, but the reason I'm playing it today is because someone came in, they were saying, I don't know what's going on with Boggles, is it any good right now? I said, well, it's probably not, because I haven't seen much of it. I haven't seen many results with Boggles in competitive events or leagues. I haven't been running into it much in leagues. I couldn't really nail down exactly what would be making this deck particularly poor, other than maybe being just like nowhere near as efficient or let's say as good as Hammer Time, for being like a hard to interact with aggressive deck. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I've played it before on the channel. I'm no Boggles expert, but we're just gonna like mull to some fast hands and see if it works out. We've got a one of Spirit Mantle with no way to get to it other than drawing with Spiritdancers. We've got Sythis, we've got Lurrus. We've got Force of Vigors and Prismatic Endings in the sideboard, Leyline, Suppression Field, Rest in Peace. I think the Path to Exiles in the main deck maybe should be Prismatic Endings, because that probably helps in a lot more situations. Removing your opponent's turn 1 Vial or turn 1 Sigarda's Aid or things of that nature might actually be worth slowing down. Is there a Dryad Arbor in this deck? There is not. Okay. Yeah, there's no Dryad Arbor in this deck. Boggles versus Infect. I mean, personally, I would probably prefer to play Infect. If only because I feel like there's a lot more autonomy when you play Infect. Like sequencing and decisions, and you get to do a little bit more bluffing with Infect. Prismatic Ending also good versus Chalice decks. Might want to restart the client. I don't think it was that bad, but we'll definitely restart maybe on the sideboarding. Thanks, Ting Fang. Thought they usually play Dryad Arbor for sack effects, but I guess no Lily of the Veil makes it unnecessary. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we'll see, though. People are out there playing all sorts of nonsense. I mean, Boomer Jund will never die. It just won't. You will never not find someone registering Bloodbraid Elf and Liliana of the Veil in the league. The Sultai Infect list that we played, Boomer? Yeah, it was great. That was a lot of fun. It went really well. I played 2 4-1s in a row. And I don't know. But I'm ready to be surprised. So on the draw, but we've got the turn 1 Bogle with Rancor. It's not very good. However, if I hit a second land, my hand gets insane. We're playing 18 lands on the draw. It's like a pretty okay shot that we can hit before turn 3. It's probably just shy of 50%, which is obviously not great, but I'm going to keep this. It's like not the highest risk. Just path my Bogle. I mean, that would get us there. If my opponent turn 1 Ragavans, I'm going to cry, I guess. Just enjoy having a good cry. Okay, that's a good sign. Because if this is any red-blue deck that wants to race us, the best draw. If this is a red-blue deck that wants to race us, it's going to go badly in a second. Bang. Well, that's unfortunate. Although I can play Spirit Mantle, I guess, to punch through here and then play Daybreak next turn. So it's actually okay. Thanks for the follow there, Goober1501. Yeah, I was thinking of that. Somewhere in England, Emma Partlow smiles in her sleep, not knowing why. For there is a Bogle causing great devastation. So I would like to see them tap as much as possible here. But 2 should be enough unless they are playing Spell Pierce and or Force of Negation, which they probably are. I know there's some dissension on which of those is correct. My personal opinion would be Spell Pierce, but it's less all in. Sometimes you need to be all in with Force of Negation. Just got a 2-3 with that list. Ran into mill twice, but you learned a valuable lesson. And what lesson would that be, my friend? Oh, they're going to flip their Delver? That's not going to be good enough. Well, now they have to have Force of Negation, or I think this game is just over. Wheel of Sun and Moon, some hexproof enchantments, and Veil are all really good against mill. Yeah, they are. What a top deck. Just peeling the lands. Oh, yeah. Peeling those lands. All right, force me now or forever hold your peace. Nope. All right. We did it! Woohoo! Pence. Oh, we bogling. We bogly boo. Bogly boo. All right. I'm at 20. Go. Did you see MTG Remy on Boggles? I did not. Unless you mean like one of his Vine dealies, in which case I definitely didn't. Yeah. Manamorphose floats some black sudden edict. And we take game 1. We'll just we'll pause the music for a second and watch this as it's coming up. the quality punchline. Good. That was a good build up, good delivery. Well, I'm unhappy on the inside. Yeah. All right. So we want Rest in Peace. We want Prismatic Ending. We'll keep the paths. I think Sythis can probably hit the bench here. I feel like Sythis is supposed to be in the sideboard, and like you bring it in where you want to keep the Spirit Dancers, but you want to go even harder on that grinding angle. So I'm not convinced. I assume their only tools to deal with us are some kind of bounce spells. They have a lot of burn. So I think this is supposed to be an all Spirit Dancer out matchup, and then so I have room for one of something. And if I'm going to bring in one of anything, I guess it's one Spirit Dancer probably. I mean, it is possible that we get to like a mid-game scenario where I can play Spirit Dancer and throw an enchantment on it, and then it gets really big. But I think all the other cards I have here are really good. Like, well, maybe it's Ending that I don't really need. Just assume we can outclass them. No Leyline for their discard burn. They're not playing discard. I think they're blue-red. And I don't think you want Leyline just for burn. Maybe we do. I don't know. I'm much happier to have Rest in Peace, and once I have Rest in Peace, I kind of don't really feel like I want more sort of do-nothing cards. And by do-nothing, I mean non-proactive. Like, I don't want to board in a bunch of cards that hose my opponent and then just, like, not draw enough cards to kill them. Which again, like, I think that's the right way to play this deck, but I'm not actually sure. And Muffins on a Hill, Hexproof is supposed to be the fixed version of Shroud in that it does what people apparently assume it does. Which, by the way, I think as with Dyes, I think Shroud actually hurt the comprehension of what the mechanic is. Calling it Shroud instead of this can't be the target of spells or abilities is just less clear, and I think more people probably misunderstood it to be what Hexproof is now. So then they changed the Hexproof, and now they retired Hexproof. They brought back Protection for like a half a second, and now we have Ward, which I do think Ward is a good fix, although not my favorite. Just 1 second. I do think Ward is like a good... What's your plan when your opponent drops a bunch of 9 lives on the field? Roll over and die. I don't like that Ward is a trigger. I wish it was a taxing effect, but yeah, Ward is more elegant. Trigger is obviously better for tournaments. Taxing is better for the lack of feel bad. Like, I'm just waiting for the moment where I have to tell a player that their opponent actually remembered the Ward trigger, and so they're going to lose in the top 8 of some event. Yeah, it does let can't be countered stuff go through, which is something. Hey, look, we both have 1/1s. Don't worry, they both have text on them. That's what you wanted, right? Yes, yeah, there was a can't be countered uncommon removal spell in Strixhaven Limited. It was like 4 damage, can't be countered for 3. 2 in red, I think. Their text does stuff and ours does nothing. Boggles, that's right, buddy. Someone asked me about it, so we're playing it. It shouldn't be a long league. I've spent a total of less than, or just above 2 minutes off my clock, and we've already won a game. Meanwhile, my opponent is futzing around trying to figure out how to live. They are no longer trying to figure out how to live. They are trying to figure out how to kill me. And it's going pretty well. So that's fun. I'm going to jam Spirit Mantle here and go on defense, which kind of sucks, but like, all right, that's where we're at. Yeah. it just doesn't make any sense to attack right now. We're not doing enough damage until I find lifelink. I don't think I need my creature to have more power, but I'm going to soup it up anyway because then I can guarantee that I can kill whatever creature that they do attack with. I want to make sure that it's dead. So I want to make sure I can block the Swift Spear or the Soulscar Mage this turn and kill it. I just want to disincentivize them from attacking at all costs. Because they do have 3 cards in hand, so if they have like Bolt plus almost anything, we're pretty close to dead here. But at least we've got the Dragon's Rage Chandler on lock as a 1/1. It does keep letting them surveil, which is kind of a pain. But nothing we can do. I did keep an opening hand with double Rest in Peace. I was hoping maybe there would be a counter for one of them, but they just drew a fairly proactive hand. They're on a very interesting build. Oh, this is Blue-Red Prowess. This isn't Murktide. Mutagenic Growth? Jesus. Yeah, this is no Blue Splash or Pierce. I tried playing Bant Boggles before. I didn't care for it much. Kozilek's Return. Wow. And we go to 1 here. No, okay. Fair. That should never work against this deck, but in that specific game, it did. So, I don't need paths here. And since I'm on the play... Wait, and they're not on Murktide, they're on Prowess. So I don't need Rest in Peace here. Let's trim at least 1. Oh, my sideboarding undid itself. Did it? No, it didn't. So let's grab Prismatic Endings and Sythis here, I guess. Leyline. I don't want to play Leyline against Prowess. It's just too easy for them to just, like, burn you out anyway, right? Yeah, but this is Prowess. It's not Burn, and it's not... I have boarded... Well, I haven't boarded in a lot of Leyline of Sanctities because I don't play a lot of Leyline of Sanctities, but I feel like it's just wrong. If we want to blank their cards, we play Rest in Peace. They have to target their own stuff. Yeah, but so what? They don't care. It doesn't kill it. Even if they have to bolt themselves, they're probably okay. Devoid is the most broken mechanic in Modern. Path seems great, no? I don't think so, no. If you path against Prowess, they usually just draw through with all the extra mana and they kill you. I wouldn't call Path great. Call Prismatic Ending great, but I think Path is usually kind of against Prowess, actual factual Prowess. Yeah. Leyline of Sanctity you want it against discard, and then decks that are like burn, like actual factual Boros Charm burn. That's the deck where you want the Leyline of Sanctity. It's mostly there for discard, but gotta love someone posting a bunch of prawn on a streamer's Discord and then begging not to get banned. Was it a joke or what? Whatever. You've had Boggles opponents bring it on against you in E-Tron. So you can't TKS them? They brought it in against your 4 terrifying Thought-Knot Seers? Not my favorite hand. But I mean, if we rip land, we'll be fine, so keep. I gotta tell you, JK, that deck was it was a romp the first time when we took it out. But I feel like it'll go like the Mardu Moon. Well, to be fair, the Mardu Moon Prison deck, we went 4-1, and then I did go 3-2 after starting off 0-2. So that, I mean, that deck has legs, and I think yours does too. I like it a lot. Also, Woodrow J. McClure, is your whole name a bunch of fantastic references to The Simpsons? Because if so, well done. So we have what some people would call a decision point here to lead on Bogle or Gladecover Scout, but there's only one answer, and we all know what that is. You're going to play a deck called Bogles and not lead on your Bogle. Let's just... Also, our opponent rolled a 5 there. I wonder if they have some kind of sideboard hate that they really wanted to draw to. Or maybe they just had a bunch of really bad like hands with no threat. Alright, that's fine. Take our 1. Insane draw. So, armor and ending. And then Daybreak Coronet, and that should be game. All right, barbecue Haas has the straight dope. Lead on the Gladecover Scout, because only a maniac would play Gladecover Scout if they have Bogle in hand in their Bogles deck. I mean, that's just good strategy is what that is. But then what if you go level 3? You lead on the Bogle because you actually have both a Bogle and a Gladecover Scout in your hand. And your hand is really weak. I mean, I don't... Yeah, I remember that too, Kaya, and I don't think that it was wrong to think that. It did take a little while for people to figure out the DRC decks. Compared to some of the other decks, and I think part of it was that people didn't believe that you could flip it by turn 2. I mean, it's a card that's just really hard to evaluate. It also was like never properly spoiled, right? It just like snuck in somewhere. It requires stuff to build around, JK, but the funny thing about it is the things it wants you to build around already put you in a shell where you're like, wait a minute, let's just play Lurrus. Or, on the flip side, let's play this other card nobody was commenting on, Murktide Regent. Like, both of those cards, just like, you start following the decision path of trying to maximize your Dragon's Rage Channelers, and then you end up in a deck where you're like, it's very easy to... slot in one of those things. Or last night we ran into that Pyromancer's deck that was super awesome. Mardu, Lingering Soul, DRC, Pyromancers. Yeah, we did Tartan Scarf. It was sick. It was a good run. Barbecue Hoss. That's just good strategy. You're just reading the psychology. Yeah, it's true, JK. It's just one of those funny things that it's like... I mean, the fact that it feeds its own abilities, Muffin on the Hill, is, like, obviously intentional, right? But it's like, can you imagine if Delverse also had a trigger where it's like, at the end of your turn, look at the top card of your library, you can put it on the bottom? Like, it's just, at the end of your turn, just scry 1. Or even at the end of your opponent's turn, scry 1. Can you imagine, like, if it had that? But that's kind of like what Dragon's Rage Channeler does. Delver was everything it is right now. and has 3 toughness. I mean, that's not usually a big deal, but sure. It is relevant. Sure. The difference between 3 and 2 is not normally a big deal, but sometimes it is. Like, it definitely means, like, Bone Crusher Giant in particular is, like, not as good right now as I would wish it would be. It's fine, but it's not as good as I want. We're shipping this one. We got no Bogle. We're on an adventure here, friends, and we want the Bogles to lead us to the promised land. Yep, that's the hand. I thought the reason you couldn't play Spell Shift anymore is that you didn't want your ability to get redemptions to be cut off by WotC's good judgment. Because your deck was playing a known bug. They cut them all off with no warning? What? Are redemptions just off right now? Is that permanent? Oh, or is it for you? Because of the Spell Shift deck. Oh, that's just... Alright, well, that sucks. Alright, let's get to work. Hey, remember how I said we should be playing Prismatic Ending main? Oh, I can path my creature so I can have basics. Green count is not the best for Vigor. I guess I could return those under. Well, Spell Shift just doesn't work properly, and it never has, I believe. Sometimes when you're doing the Spell Shift combo, which involves adventure creatures, it just stops. Solemnity doesn't stop Urza's Saga with no counters from producing mana. So you mean like if you play a Solemnity and then they play a Saga and it comes in with 0 counters, it gains the ability to tap for mana? Yeah, that's just wrong. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, no kidding, dude. That sucks. Because I specifically brought it up in the league we were playing that's how that would interact. I think we got a concession out of it. Also, interact, Zach. Interact. I'm just trying to talk about my debit card, my Interact. So I'm keeping this slow rolling hand here. Yeah, it'll trigger, but it never gets a counter. It should never get a counter. You don't know that the number of counters makes any difference. Well, how would it know what chapter it's supposed to be on, Brian? The flip? Explain sagas. Class. Okay. As the player's pre-combat main phase begins, that player puts a lore counter on each saga they control. No. Blah, blah, blah. RN effect means when one or more counters are put on this saga, if the number of lore counters on it was less than N and became at least N, effect. So there's your ruling. 714.2b. That is the specific ruling. There is your very clear and specific ruling on. There's the exact thing that says this is how it's supposed to. I so was not paying attention. I'm not even mad. I am not mad at all. Yeah. Right on. You got me. They failed to tie the resolution of the trigger to the trigger. Yeah. In Magic Online, right? That's what you're saying? In Magic Online, it clearly, is not. Well, but I don't know if this is actually true, but I've heard that in Magic Online, every single card is individually programmed, which is how you end up like that. And like, I was watching Jeff Hoagland stream some Arena, and he was showing off one of the bugs. It's not really a bug. One of the features of Arena is that there was one drop-down menu of formats and another drop-down menu of formats, and there was no reason for those drop-down menus to have a different list of formats in them, but they did. And the general commentary on that was like, so each of these drop-down menus are completely individually, like, they're, instead of pulling their format list from like a mastered index, which again, like, I am not a programmer of any sort, but it's like rats. All right, fair enough. It's just one of those things where you're like, well, why would you make it like this? All right, let's do this. And then I have green card force to suit up my creature here. Anyway. Yeah, Magic Online is a shit show. But luckily, we have... I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like, what is it? Legally Not Magic Online is a Twitter account, and they just kind of shit post about the quality of Magic Online, and it's great. Like with the Worlds thing where they cut $750,000 from the prize pool, they had a post where they were like, now you might think we're going to do something like put that money into the Magic Online budget. And that's where you're wrong. We're definitely not doing that. But you'll be happier if you think that's what we're doing with it. So maybe try that. Maybe just use the power of imagination and the world will be a better place. Yeah, that's another thing, Tartan Scarf. And apparently that you're supposed to kind of leave notes on like how you're doing stuff so that the next person doesn't have to fumble around in the dark and actually like reverse engineer your thought process, but that doesn't happen enough. Bet the Tybalt's still bugged? I'm sure that it is. The colorless bug? Probably. There was another one that had to do with that, that something allowed you to cast things as though they were, with mana as though it were any of any color, and Eldrazi were still getting cast. Right, yeah, the assumption that even if someone does comment, that the comments actually make sense. Yeah, the explanations for what has been wrought as far as Magic Online goes is probably really messed up. So now I can't end of turn fetch. I didn't need to anyway. I mean, it's not that I can't. It's just that they could tech edge my canopy anyway. Yeah, Magic Online is like on a 3.5, I believe, is the edition we're technically on. Well, that's the thing, Montbank. I assume they didn't build it from the ground up again. There's just no way in my mind that they totally overhauled it. I just can't believe that. Okay. So, like, if I fetch Shock, I could play Lurrus plus Spirit Dancer plus Rancor. I guess Hyena Umbra on the Lurrus will be good if they don't have more removal. I guess right now they could only have, like, Path, and Path is not a... Oh, I can't do everything because they have a Thalia. I'll just play Lurrus into the Hyena Umbra. Never mind. Yeah, I can do everything I want to. Hopefully they didn't bring in Path against the Boggles deck. Alright. First Strike Lifelinker seems pretty good. Definitely going to keep me alive for a little bit. Is my companion oppressing you, opponent? How do you feel? Oh, it's good to get justice from the Boros player. Opponent was on Boros min rage mediocrity, just like we were in the previous league. And sometimes you run into Boggles and you turn one chalice them, and they're like, "Oh, okay." So here's a question, because I don't think our Boggles player in question is here. And if anyone from the Boggles Discord, and I don't know where they sourced this list from, but it seems very suspect. Is there a list floating around that's playing 4X Prismatic Ending in the main deck? Because if there isn't, I might be the Boggles genius who revolutionizes this archetype. Also, I think Sythis is probably god-awful in the main deck. Maybe JK Torborg. My belief is that card is very underpowered unless you have a literal mountain of mana. I just don't see that being a good play against most counter magic, and it's generally not going to help you against Chalice the right way. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Maybe. Like, again, if I was going to sink a lot of time into Boggles, I would definitely try, like, 4X Destiny Spinner in the sideboard against specifically Chalice. Especially because there's so many Chalices running around right now, is that, like, you can pretty reliably see which archetypes are going to have Chalice because they've got a bad Cascade matchup. And then you can just build around that. All right, we're on the draw. I'm shipping the Path to Exile, and we might get punished for that, but maybe not. Oh no. Okay, good. Whew. No turn one discard. I have to shock this because I want double white in case I pick up the Daybreak Coronet. Have a bad Cascade matchup. Well, yeah, E-Tron, you can count on them having 4X Chalice in the main deck, sure. Yeah, we can't block here. Play it! It's going to make your Ragavan huge. Huge. No, no. DRC and discard? Please, no. Yeah, looks like it. Do it. Seriously? Wow. I mean, it does work really well with the Ragavan. I mean, I'm just going to play Spirit Mantle this turn and then just go on the defensive for a turn, I guess. Not the worst thing in the world. Because until the Dragon Rage Channeler flips, they're not racing me. Well, I mean, it is different in the black-red deck versus blue-red decks. Like, playing to the board with extra stuff is probably a good idea, but this seemed like just like a misstep to me, just generally. So this gives... Kor Spiritdancer becomes indestructibly large with Ethereal Armor here, I think. So let's just go... And the reason we're going this direction at the moment is because I would really like to draw Daybreak Coronet. Hyena Umbra is fine. But if we can overwhelm them with, like, just grotesquely large creatures here, that's going to be a really good way to win this game. They could be playing Push or Terminate. Usually these decks weren't. Unholy Heat, they don't have Kicker yet. All right. They're on the new technology. I'm still not used to that, and it's effed me up, like, several times over the last couple days. Main deck Terminate in this deck. This deck's calling card for the first little while was the fact that they played 0 copies of Fatal Push, 0 copies of... Like, they just didn't play anything that actually said Destroy Target Creature because Unholy Heat was good enough, but I guess the meta shifted under their feet and they needed to catch... Oh, no! It's a Prismatic Ending build, too? Oh, man. Yeah. I'm kind of with you, Kaya. It's really busted. Like, I know Sinkhole wasn't good enough, but Unholy Heat is just... I mean, if it wasn't for Dragon's Rage Channeler, it would probably be okay. Yeah, it's not... What do I want to say? Without Dragon's Rage Channeler, Unholy Heat would be a lot more fair, because it wouldn't be on literally always, right? Yeah, without Dragon's Rage Channeler, it would feel like... But the fact that it just, like, folds into all these decks which are already doing what it asks for... Like, Delirium used to be a thing that was, like, it was kind of cute and gimmicky, and you actually had to work for it. But these decks just, like, have it 100% of the time by, like, turn 2, it feels like. 3 is late. If they don't have it by turn 3... this is just Croxa? Okay, we're dead. If I top deck exactly Daybreak Coronet, it's... How big does my Gladecover Scout? And it gains... it does gain Vigilance. Alright, if they don't have a Lightning Bolt and we top deck Daybreak Coronet, we could win here. So, let's try. I mean, try. Well, and somehow it doesn't kill Murktide Regent. If it's sufficiently large. Yeah, it also hits Planeswalkers. Like, what? How is that okay? So again, I think this is a matchup where we're bringing in Rest in Peace, but we're not bringing in Leyline. Leyline is theoretically good here. Certainly on the play, I don't want the Leylines. But why does Unholy Heat red terminate for 1 mana that also hits Planeswalkers? Why, like, on top of everything, 1 mana answer from Primeval Titan at instant speed. Oh yeah, also any Planeswalker. I literally can't think of a Planeswalker that could survive it. It kills Oko. I'm offended. It kills Oko. Karn? Oh, big Karn. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and also Ugin. Sure. Yeah. I guess this is a good Suppression Field matchup because they're on Baubles and Fetchlands and Karuz. Unban Oko. Yeah, he's probably safe now. Well, I honestly think Uro would be fine now. Maybe Uro would be even more problematic because of Dragon's Rage Chandler. But I never wanted Uro banned, so I'm don't listen to me. I'm very biased. You can have Uro if I can have Ayavugan. I mean, I'll take that deal, and then I'll just like play Modern for a bit, and then stop forever, probably. Yeah, so this has nothing. This is unkeepable. Okay, I guess this is the best one. All right, opponent, you've never played turn 1 discard in your life. I mean, they also mulled to 5. All right, they don't have it. You'd be crying a lot, but you'd have Uro. So I think I have to jam out this Rest in Peace. I don't know if this is from... Oh, this is from Katamari Damacy. Katamari Damacy and Katamari... Oh, We Heart Katamari both have fantastic soundtracks. You're going to hear my favorite song from We Heart Katamari next. Or is We Heart Katamari like a compendium thing where it's like 2 different games? I don't know. Well, we're living off the top of our deck on turn 2. Must be Modern. Oh no, sorry. I thought we were attacking. We're not. Oh, we are. Here's where they're going to have a Dash Monkey in hand. Anyone? Anyone? Daybreak Coronet? All that glitters. Ooh. I would have loved that. Rancor. All right. Yeah, it's... I mean... Yeah, it's... Like, can I even keep attacking here? Like, is it more or less advantageous for me to attack? I honestly don't know. Like... I mean, I think I'm supposed to keep attacking, but, like, they're hitting me back for 3, but they're also getting treasures and potential cards, most of which don't matter, but some of which do. Like, ugh. I guess if I don't attack, they have no good attack themselves, but, like, am I going to win a long game? Only if I top deck Coronet, right? That's exactly the opposite. If I attack, they can Dash Monkey, then play Lurrus. Like... I guess I should have played the second Rest in Peace because I'm probably not worried about engineered explosives out of them. And, like... Sure. This is fine. Keeping the card in hand had them play Thoughtseize, basically losing 2 life for very little gain. Bogle. I knew I was going to draw something good. Monkey Bogle. I know. Well, drawing the Bogle here is actually pretty good. Kind of evens up the board a bit. Oh, no. They've got Prismatic Ending for my Rest in Peace? No? What's going on? Yeah, I should have played the Rest in Peace. Yep. Yeah, of course. Jesus. I mean, at least they're down to 1 card in hand. Sure. Is there a world we could play Murktide in blue-black food, but splash white for Stoneforge Mystic? No. That's way too many packages. I mean, the blue... Great, they have an unblockable attacker now. Okay. Oh, cool. I can put my Lurrus in my hand. Anyone think they're going to discard it? Well, that's the thing is the food decks are already like 2 decks each, right? Like they feel like they have enough engines for 2 different decks that somewhat overlap, but not really. Yeah. All right. I'm done. I don't care anymore. Take the win. That was pretty unacceptable. Just all the way through that game. Both games. Turn 1 monkey in game 1 is like, oh, I can't play Magic here. And then of course they happen to be on not only the Mardu deck, the Mardu version of Black Red Lurrus, but the Mardu version of Black Red Lurrus that was playing a main deck Terminate for game 1 where they needed to kill my my Spirit Dancer. Oh. All right. I mean, this hand is insane, right? But we're not on the play, so how does Dothy work with Ripon play? So whoever is being affected by both replacement effects is going to choose which one applies first, and then the other ones will attempt to apply. This is true for all replacement effects. So, I'm the person who has cards going into Exile rather than my graveyard, and I choose whether Rest in Peace or Dothy Voidwalker apply first. So, in that case, I probably want to choose Rest in Peace first so that they're not going into the Voidwalker. And we found miracles. We found a deck that's actually playing Sweepers. No Void counters ever. I believe that's correct. There are exceptions to the ways that this works. Self-replacement effects always apply first. And I don't know if Magic Online handles it, quote, properly. But they're not going to have turn 3 Terminus, are they, on the play? Please no. Please no turn 3 Terminus on the play. But even if it's not on turn 3, right? They can just Terminus me whenever they want. Oh. Hey, how's it going, the one? Nah, you're not late. Lots of people show up around now times. I mean, I'm not playing stuff on my Bogle here. I don't look happy? Oh, you were the one who wanted me to play Bogles. Well, let me tell you something. It's not going well. But I have ideas on how to improve it. So, I don't know if it'll actually fix the fundamental problems with that this deck has, but at least it can make it better in the average metagame. Boggles versus the red format does seem nice. Yeah, you'd think so. So far it hasn't been. Okay, that tells me they don't have the Terminus on top, so maybe we sneak one out here. To be fair, in round 2 we ran into red-white Chalice Blood Moon deck, so they ate us alive. And they were playing Skyclave Apparitions, so that was a bit of a tilt. Not actually tilting, but it was like, oh, well, that deck's going to stop us, like, for show. And then, but black-red Lurrus splashing white for Prismatic Ending, like, seemed like it shouldn't have been that bad, but it was god-awful. But this deck seems severely misbuilt. The one you actually sent me, the one. So if this is your list, like, I apologize for saying that way, but, like, if you want this to be better, this is not it. Yeah, I think part of the problem that Boggles is facing right now, though, is it's just outclassed. Like, a lot of the other decks are able to put out bigger boards than what you can. It's not your list? Yeah, I didn't think so. But, like, if this... And I don't know where you got this from, or if you were like, is this the best version of Boggles in this metagame right now? But it looks really loose and random. All right. You got it? Nope. Verdict? Verdict in your Brainstone deck? Cycles Triome. What do you has? Do you have a play here? Yay! I did not let anyone dim my sparkle. No, I did not. As a general rule, does anyone know if this deck has a good Titan matchup? I assume it doesn't, because you usually don't kill them before turn 4, and they usually just flip the board and kill you. It's quite poor. So I think rather than Path in the sideboard, you could probably play Thin Ice. Although I guess you have the Razorverge Thickets and the Horizon Canopy, so maybe not. But, yeah, I mean, you probably have to play Path. I guess, like, because Path seems like the most meaningful upgrade against Titan above anything else. Anyway, we'll look at it. Look at it after. If they're on Miracles, they're probably on sideboard Rip because they're probably on Yendrick's list. So let's just play some Prismatic Endings, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Portable Hole doesn't hit some of the threats you really want it to, so, like Murktide Region, right? I just like that Thin Ice doesn't give them any resources. And it's an enchantment, which pumps up your creatures. Well, I got turn 2 Suppression Field on the draw, but I feel like this hand is a trap. Can't put my finger on why. TKS. You right, though. I mean... Alright. Going to 5. Going to 4. Got it, got it. London Mulligan. Very useful upgrade. Alright. Eyes bright, no fear. Is anyone in chat a doubter? Because we're going all the way, baby. You, me, and this Gladecover Scout. I'm rounding third base right now. Search for Riscanta? In this economy? Jen and I, when I looked upon you, I knew you were full of doubt. And I said, this is fine. This deck is goofy. No respect. The Boggles deck is the Rodney Dangerfield of Modern. Can't get no respect. No respect at all. No esteem neither. You guys see the 7 I had to mull to? Yeah, it was tough. Tough, I tell you. It was a tough 7. My 7 had 3 ley lines in it. Whoops. Hey, look, we lost. I've done that before, Kaya. Last time we played a deck with Archmage's Charm, I was against Ad Nauseam. They comboed out, and then they used their last mana on the spoils into Oracle, and then I yeah, I do a pretty good Rodney Dangerfield, Alex. I had a really good joke about mulligans last time I was doing the Rodney Dangerfield off stream, but Rodney D stream. 100k channel points isn't good enough. I need actual cash money for that one. Because I just don't know how funny that would be. I think I would have to be like... I did. I clicked through countering with like a different spell, Kaya. And then the way they went for the win, I killed them anyway. So at least I saw the potential. I will never say I'm a good Magic the Gathering player. Nope. I won't even start to. But I'm not the worst. And being not the worst and a little bit lucky is all it takes sometimes. Having a good attitude helps too. Makes it a lot more sustainable. Although, probably means I won't ever rise to the level of success that's like actually, you know, interesting. But I'm okay with that. Just means I get to hang out with you fine folks more. Thoughts on Teague in the sideboard? Probably bad right now. I mean, it stops them from playing Prismatic Ending. So, that ain't not bad. Alright, so play this Ethereal Armor because it's free real estate. Play Hyena Umbra. Interesting. Like that play, like the reason I'm just going more in because like that play screamed to me that they didn't have. Yeah, they don't have removal for the creature. Wild. I mean, I guess it's to be expected because they're playing against Boggles, so why would they keep so much creature removal? Night, Luke. Take care. I mean, we have lethal on deck, so good luck, opponent. If they flip and activate their Riscanta here, it's a good tell. Maybe Jace? Looks like Jace. Jace Boomerang. Get the Rancor back, then we play Gladecover with Rancor. And then if we dodge Terminus for one turn, we're Gucci. Wow! Just blank hand, Brainstorm as Kanta is all they have. So like I'm just going all in on this Gladecover Scout. And then if they kill the Rancor, which would cause the Daybreak Coronet to drop off, we get the Rancor back to our hand. We can play Lurrus. And then if I have one more mana, I can play out 2 enchantments and kill them anyway. So, good luck, opponent. If they find Terminus, they can't hardcast it. Okay, this is ending? Yeah, ending on the Rancor is much worse. Not the end of the world, but much worse. So now I get to attack for 2. Assuming nothing else horrible happens. Don't die? I mean, I'm not going to die, but I might lose. Archmage's Charm into hand with the... Okay, so that's lethal for next turn, which we already had, but, you know, whatever. Okay, that's good. Umbra plus Coronet will be lethal next turn. So Umbra protects it from not much, but maybe. Am I supposed to kill the Jace here? Because in theory I have lethal next turn anyway. They have Archmage's Charm in hand. I have Armor plus Daybreak next turn. Yeah, let's kill the Jace. It sucks, but I'm going to kill the Jace. Or at least try to. Tear. I mean, I guess it means my misplay wasn't really a misplay. We know they have Archmage's Charm in hand to deal with one of the spells. I think he did. Just infinite prismatic endings from my opponent. And I know they have Archmage's Charm in hand, so we're basically dead here. Oh, they Fate Sealed? Oh, man. Yeah, we're definitely done. They're drawing an extra... Jeez. Cats with scarves are not going to save us here. I'm just going to kick the client really quick because the lag's getting a little annoying. 6 turn clock. Yeah. Okay. I'll be right back. Alright. On the play. To be fair, last game was a mult of 5, right? And we got pretty close to killing them, so I am not going to be upsetty spaghetti about any of that. This looks like really close to a turn 3 kill. This is a lot of damage. I'm not going to do the math. Oh, it was a mult of 4, and we got real close. Opponent mults to 6 here? Yeah, that's the thing, the one. I think Boggles actually could be good in this meta. Or not good, but at least playable. But I think this list in particular definitely needs a rebuild. Yeah, sorry, Waz. I like Enchantress a lot. We could play that at some point again soon. I don't know exactly when. So this is plus 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So the amount of damage is the same either way. So I guess I'll just split them up for whatever reason and just pray they don't have engineered explosives because none of these are totem armors. If I draw land next turn, is this lethal? It's damn close. Okay, I definitely want to play 2 enchantments this turn. Let's play the one I can recur first. This is less damage, though. Ethereal Armor is by far the most damage, so let's play Rancor first. They might counter it, especially because then it won't come back ever. Hey, how's it going, Last God? And I say it won't come back ever, but like obviously, like the appeal of Rancor is that it comes back over and over and over again. You like Boggles? You came to the right place. Perfect. And then we Ethereal Armor. This is +3. 9 them. All right. Top deck Terminus. Scoop City. Population U. Not yet. I'll freeze frame. It's like a bad A's movie. Da 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 down. Okay. Oh no, it only gives +1/+1 now. No, it's so bad. All right, 2 and 2. Alex just requests a lot of Steely Dan from time to time. You can request whatever you want on the song list there, Hyper Chris. Unless it's just like noisy god-awfulness. I am the supreme arbiter of what gets to be determined to be music on this channel, but I have a pretty low bar. Like, I don't mind screamo, I don't mind, death metal, as long as there's like a reasonable variety of stuff, and there usually is. Your no effects on the Faithless Brewing Discord. Oh, nice. Welcome. I love that Discord. And I love the Faithless Brewers. Cough. Oh, sorry. Cough. Honestly, it's just like my background now because it's very clean. Do you need me to remove that, Tunneling Cat? Children's book read aloud. We're leaving that on for a second. Well, K-Trojan, the thing about the music on Canister's channel is, like, I don't mind gotchi as, like, a theoretical genre. Like, I think it's a funny idea, and if handled well, it's kind of cool. It's only as obnoxious as, like, in theory, something like dubstep. Dubstep doesn't have to be an obnoxious monstrosity of crappy music. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff. Gotchi is a type of music that is sort of electronic stuff that I don't think it actually has to be electronic, but it uses clips of let's say homosexual erotic film actors in moments of supreme action to supplement this. I think dubstep is still pretty popular in Britain, but I mean, it's like, yeah. I don't know what Ram Ranch is, but I know it's not allowed to be requested on Canister's stream. I've never heard it. I have no idea what it is, but I am assuming it's really obnoxious. Opponents said they hoped I was going to Velomachus them, and I told them not today. Yeah. I mean, it's just like an internet meme that I assume like kind of got out of control at some point when people kind of were pissy about it, and they were like, "Ha, we'll show you. We'll do it 1,000,000 times. That'll show you." And like some of the songs are very listenable, and it just sounds like random quotes. Like I'm a person who I love Dank Muse, which I have a command for, who is a person who makes like electronic dance music stuff that is full of Simpsons quotes in the place of your usual sci-fi quote, let's say. And it's makes it impossible to watch the stream with your child in your room. Yeah, I mean, he's just not trying to appeal to that, and that sucks, I guess. He's a lot more appealing to the Zoomers for sure. Are we against Lurrus Jund? We found the boomer. All right, opponent, you're not interacting ever. I am the supreme victor of the no interaction battle. I did not know they were going to concede as I was saying that. Could just be black-red? Yeah, you're right. As a general rule, I'm bringing in Prismatic Ending. This is really bad that there isn't a Dryad Arbor on the list. Well, they're playing Lurrus, so they're not playing Liliana. So I'm not worried about getting... Yeah, and that's generally the funny thing too, Kaya, is that I am so bad at listening to lyrics. There's so many songs where I'm like, oh, that's what it's about. I've been listening to it for years and I never knew. I guess Sythis is okay in a grindy matchup. And I probably don't want to path them, although I guess we just really barely saw what they're on. I guess if I'm bringing Rest in Peace, I don't want the Gryff Spoons, which means I could keep some of the paths. No, because they're going to be on like Goyfs and stuff, right? Probably. Let's get that third Rest in Peace, and then like a Suppression Field just for funsies. Sure. Have I tried out the Karth deck? It looks insanely fun. There's a bunch of Karth decks I'm considering trying. I haven't done any yet. It's like Rammstein, it's all in German. And that's the thing, is like for me, like most of the music I listen to is not really about the lyrics, because I don't really listen to music to feel things. If I wanted to feel things, I would turn off the music and then listen to myself and just go cry in the corner. But you know, most days I have to like try to do stuff with my life. So okay, we're gonna keep this slow hand on the draw against Jund just to have a high density of stuff. Because like if we mull to like a one Bogle hand and then we get Thoughtseize, like. Got a list of literally 4 Karth, 4 Arbor Elf, 8 other spells, and the rest is all walkers and lands. 5-0 and 2 leagues. Holy crap. You got to hit me with that list, Waz. That sounds like a good one. I want to try to do Karth with 5 colors, Fire's Invention, and Time Warp, which is definitely a bad idea, but I kind of want to do Karth Super Friends with Time Warp. And Ren and 6, obviously. Oh, you thought the Boggles deck would skimp on interaction, did you, opponent? You know what that monkey was saying? That's quite the lyric, Kaya. Is that Hemingway? Is that a Hemingway quote in the song you're listening to? That's incredible. I need the biggest bell feeder you have. No, that's too big. Yeah, I love me some Hans Moleman. Sythis, Harvest Hand. Ah, Lightning Bolt. Dental Plan. The best lyrics are from Flamingo by Mark Rubelet. They're up there. I really enjoy Girls Club, which I've been trying to make the rounds more B Temple. If you haven't heard it yet, I'm a huge fan of Mark Rubelet's Girls Club. It's really good. He's like, to me, he's like the non-edgy but still like commenting on pop culture Bo Burnham. Like he doesn't have that dark part, but he does have the very sort of jaded commentary on social norms. In its own way. All right, that's good. Spider Umbra resolving there is real good. All right, I got your list, Waz. Karth, who goes there? I love it. Oath of Nissa, Utopia Sprawl, Fatal Push, Arbor Elf, Karth, and Planeswalkers. I love it. So are they grabbing Lurrus? No. Terminate? No. EEX2. Rude. Gonna pop it now? Wild. That's what the Umbra's for? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is. So, they did put the Lurrus in their hand. So I'm pretty sure I'm playing Rest in Peace this turn. But I am tempted to play all the glitters, but I'm definitely playing the Rip. Because that means I get to attack for 4 too. Umbra always has secret text, yeah. I think it's just like Umbras are like +1, -1 counters and Annihilation. I don't mean Annihilation. I mean, wait, did they board in something that denied them having Lurrus? Didn't they have Lurrus last game? Am I crazy? I mean, I'm crazy, but like, they were a Lurrus deck last game, right? Okay, well, we just killed them, so whatever. I know I'm crazy, but like, I'm pretty sure they were a Lurrus deck last game. And they boarded in something that turned it off? Blood Moon? Yeah, I guess so. Alright. So we snagged a 3-2. And the 2 losses were to, I think this was like Blue-Red Murktide, and this was definitely Black-Red Lurrus on Spicy Leche, the Spicy Milk. So let's take a look at this deck list. I think perhaps there's some points of improvement. Yeah, 3-2 definitely, in my opinion, it qualifies the deck as being playable in Modern. That said, this is nonsense in the main deck. This is nonsense in the sideboard. There should be 4 of these in the main deck. 110%. Yeah, I'm with you, the one. I'm with you. Like, if you want to play Boggles, play it right, all right? I don't want to catch you playing some crappy Boggles deck. You know, if you want to play Boggles, let's go wreck some bees, some B words. Use some strong language up in this sitch. All right, so Path to Exile. Get the flip out of my main deck. I ain't having it. No, thank you. All right, and then we're closer now. So let's like really look at what we're dealing with here. I like Spirit Dancer just because it's just like such a high power level. Daybreak maybe needs to be just like cut to 3, maybe just because there's so many prismatic endings running around, but I'm not sure on that. This split makes me kind of unhappy. But I think, generally speaking, this is great. I like 4 Rancor. Oh, there should be 4 Hyena Umbra and 3 Spider Umbra for sure. I mean, maybe you're like, oh, but Ethereal Armor already gives first strike. Do you want to play Spirit Link? Kind of. If I wanted to play Spirit Link, though, I think I would want to play another All That Glitters or something like that. Need the green count for Vigor? Maybe. Unflinching Courage. I don't know that card. Definitely not. I don't need to know. I don't need to know the text on Unflinching Courage. It's 3 CMC. We're a Lurrus deck. We're already companioning Lurrus. That's why we're never, ever going to play in Flinching Flourish. Is this Armadillo Cloak? It is. Okay. It's Armadillo Cloak. Okay. I would consider Armadillo Cloak, but I would never consider Unflinching Courage. Have you seen that Historic plays Kaya's Ghost form? Isn't that card black? Yeah, I don't want to play Dryad Arbor right now because there's not a lot of Liliana the Veils running around. At least a 9th Bogle and Ledgewalker. Most of the versions of the deck Gallagher that I have ever enjoyed playing are playing just the 8 Bogles. If you want to play Ledgewalker, I think you don't play Spirit Dancers. And maybe you play 2 of the 2 Ledgewalkers, so you have 10 Bogles. But I think the format is probably... I don't know. I like Spirit Dancer, and I don't want to sideboard Spirit Dancer, and I just feel like there's enough times where Spirit Dancer is insane. How many games in that league did I mull to 5 to find a Bogle? Not many. We mulled to 4 one game, but most of the other ones we were fine. So, I mean, let's just do the general math, right? Odds on 60. We have 8. We're drawing 7. We need 1. And this is okay. Oops. Odds 60, 7. Sorry, 8, 7, 1. Odds of drawing 1 or more of 8 cards from 7 draws in a 60-card deck, 65%. So your chance to have an opening Bogle is 65%, and then on the second go round, you get another shot at that, so you get 65% of the remaining 35%. So 0.65 times 0.35 gives me another 0.22, 0.75. So then you get sorry, someone else put a calculation in. You get 87, just north of 87%. Adding a 9th Bogle gives you plus 5%. Sure. But on the mull to 6, by that point you have 87%. So I'm pretty confident in just 8 Bogles. And Silhana Ledgewalker costing 2 is not the same as having a 1-drop Bogle. The way the format is right now, I think you just need to find the 1-drop Bogle and then just pants it up and go. The biggest problem is it seemed like we were getting outclassed a lot. Gryff's Boon literally never got enchanted. You're conceding, constantly mulling to 6 to have a playable hand. I don't think increasing your first draw by 5% is that big. That's 1 in 20 games. 1 in 20 games. Right? Am I wrong? I think that's correct. That's a one CR in Dungeons and Dragons talk. You just took your D20 roll to roll 15 or higher to roll 16 or higher, or the reverse, 14 or higher. Like, you're also playing a deck where your matchup lottery is going to affect your win rate way more than 5%. Like, not close. You run into Black-Red Lurrus. All right. Tough, but doable. You run into Mardu Lurrus. Ooh. Much harder with the 4 main deck Prismatic Ending, or even 2 or 3. It can be a lot worse. So, with this kind of deck, at like 5% on the mulligans isn't going to pull me one direction or the other particularly hard. So that's where I'm at on that one. I think you should play Bogles when you think it's a good deck in the meta game, and not when you think that you have a good version of the list. So if everyone's on spot removal, but we beat the deck that had sweepers, right? We beat the Terminus deck. A lot of the other spot removal decks had such powerful threats they were able to outclass us, but we beat the sweeper deck. And we had them under pressure to kill them in the one where we mulled to 4. So I don't know. Seemed pretty good. Spirit Link definitely might help against some of the decks we had problems against. Hammer sounds hard to beat. Yeah, they're basically just going to be a better version of you, right? I don't know if you can fix that. Maybe Kataki? Kataki could be a good sideboard card. And or Stony Silence. You're playing Force of Vigor in the sideboard, so Kataki plus Force of Vigor would do a lot. Right. And I mean, that's going to happen, Waz. Like, if there's a lot of Lilianas floating around, you're just going to die. But I don't think there are. So anyway, I think Spirit Link is probably fine. I think Gryff's Boon is the most questionable card in the main deck right now. So I want maybe more all that glitters and or Spirit Mantle. Maybe that's too many 2-drops, so maybe we get the Spider Umbra back. So, and then you have like 2-3 slots to play with, maybe. I like Spirit Link. Maybe it's too much because we already have 4 Daybreaks. But now you have 3 slots to play with the one, so... and then, yeah, please consider Stony Silence or Kataki for the sideboard if you really want to have some haymakers against Boggles and other artifact-based decks. Is Keen Sense playable? No. Not as a general rule, no. The thing about Boggles is, like, I don't think drawing 1 card for, like, 2 turns, in a lot of cases, you're only going to hit them twice before you kill them on the 3rd hit. I don't think drawing an extra 2 cards for reducing your damage by as much as Keen Sense might is a good idea. Assuming that Keen Sense is the Curiosity card, right? I think there's also one called Sixth Sense. Maybe it's just Keen Sense. Yeah, Sixth Sense is, I think, the same card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One is combat damage, one is damage, but for our purposes, they're the same. Yeah. All right. If you're in the future and watching this on the YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed this romp through a Boggles League. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out any other videos that we have posted.